Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
Talking a little baseball, talking a little Brewers baseball here this morning. You want to talk about a fantastic weekend? Boy, Brew Crew, Friday, I think a lot of us were a little maybe perturbed, upset, annoyed, down, frustrated that maybe the Brewers didn't make a ton of moves or big splashy moves before the trade deadline. So maybe from a fan's perspective, a little bit down. But the Brewers, if this weekend's any indication, are like, we're good. We good. We got this. Yes, I know it was the Nationals. I know the Nationals are not a good team. All right, I understand that. But if you are a legit first-place team, like the Brewers are, this is exactly what you do against teams who are having down years or who are just not very good. You go in there and you dominate. And you announce your presence with authority. And that's exactly what the Brewers did this past weekend. Starting on Friday nights, 16-9 victory. Maybe got a little close there. Maybe get, maybe like, that ninth inning. All right, can we just knock it off a little bit there with McGee finishing off with the final two innings and such? It's like, come on now. But 25 hits for the Brewers in this game in that 16-9 victory. Jose Quintana picking up his 8th win of the season, going 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs in the contest. Contreras having himself a night in the DH role, 5 hits, couple RBIs, 3 runs scored. You had home runs from him, Vaughn again, Perkins getting a couple of home runs in that game. I mean, it was like the Blake Perkins show in his 6 at-bats in that game on Friday night. You had hits. You had 4 hits from Andrew Monasterio, for crying out loud. Joey Ortiz had 3 hits. The only person to not have multiple hits in this game was Jansen, who had 1, but he scored a couple runs. I mean, it was, you get a hit, everybody gets a hit. It was the best Oprah impression in baseball for the Brewers in that game Friday night. Lockridge making his debut, batting in the leadoff spot, gets a couple hits. I mean, everybody was on the hit train for that game and setting the tone early, putting up 5 runs after being down 1-0 right away. Brewers like, we're good. Tied it up in a second, but then put up 5 in the third, 5 in the seventh, mixed in with 3 in the fifth to set the tone early. And then Saturday, you get to Saturday's game. The 8-2 victory where the Brewers started off hot. 3 runs in the first inning. Setting that tone early and getting Brandon Woodruff some run support early. Another game where they had 15 hits, another double-digit hit performance from the Brewers. Yelly with a home run, his 21st of the season. Frelick had a couple hits before leaving the game. Yelly, we mentioned with that home run, he had 3. Collins a couple. Perkins with a couple more hits. Terang had 3 hits. It was an awesome weekend for Terang, too. But Brandon Woodruff goes out there, pitches 6 innings, giving up just 1 hit, couple earned runs from that home run, but also struck out 8 in just 1 walk. What Brandon Woodruff, the comeback that he has done, we were waiting a long time for this season. Obviously, last year didn't play at all. And then there was a couple hiccups in his return for this year. But I got to tell you, boy, it's been worth it. The wait's kind of been worth it because Brandon Woodruff, in 5 games, 3-0 with a 2.22 ERA, already 37 strikeouts. The guy has been awesome. In a coming back from an injury that nobody knew. Nobody knew what it would be like. Nobody knew for sure if he'd be able to make that comeback. It was a major surgery. But Brandon Woodruff, comeback player of the year, easily. If there was a thing, there's no contest. It's Brandon Woodruff. What he has been able to do. in his return has been one of the big reasons why this Brewers team is number one in all of Major League Baseball. Because you know, not just from his performance and such, but when he came back, that had to light a fire within his teammates, especially the guys that have been around there for the last few years, like a Yelich and a Contreras. They witnessed when he was pitching at his peak, and they witnessed his recovery and his attempt at a comeback. That was an inspiration to this ball club. And the fact that he's pitching at this level right now continues to be a major, major inspiration to this team. So another fantastic outing from Brandon Woodruff. So you get the series win. You move to Sunday. Can they do the sweep? Gets announced that Mizorowski's scratched. He gets placed on the injured list. Doesn't sound too serious. Calling it a tibia contusion. It's a shin bruise. Hopefully it's nothing more than that. But the Brewers call up Logan Henderson. And Logan Henderson goes out there, pitches 4 1/3, just gives up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks. Doesn't get credited with a win, but in 5 games that he has pitched so far this year, 3-0, 1.78 ERA. Ashby comes in, pitches an inning and 2/3, and he gets credited with the win. But this was a game Terang. Come on now. 2 home runs from Bryce Terang. He had multiple hits, 4 RBIs from Joey Ortiz. Lockridge with a couple of hits and 3 RBIs. Yelich with a couple hits. Collins with a couple more hits. Durbin had a couple hits. It was another hit fest. 16 total hits for the Brewers. 56 total. 56 total, setting a franchise record for most hits in a series. I mean, you want to, according to Sarah Lang, with all the runs they scored in this one too, you're looking at the most runs in a 3-game span in Brewers history. It was third most. They had 40 twice back in 1999, 1978, 39 in 1996, but the third most in franchise history. Just an absolutely fantastic weekend from, a bunch of, let's call it, unknowns. Shout out Jordan with a nickname that I think absolutely is perfect. Murphy's Misfits. After, a trade deadline that was a little lackluster for a lot of fans and maybe a little frustration and such, it's like, come on, why aren't we going for this? And maybe there are still some fans. And I get it. I understand it why you might be a little apprehensive because these are players you don't know who the heck they are. You haven't heard their names, and you're like, can I trust them? But you can't deny what the heck they're doing right now. You can't deny the performance that they're putting together, the results that we're seeing from this. And you look at some of the offensive numbers right now in Major League Baseball. I know it's not the tell-all stat. It's one of my favorite stats. Doesn't tell everything, but to me, it's one of the more interesting stats out there. Run differential. The number one team in run differential, your Brewers. Think about that. It's not a team that is obviously that relies on the big home run ball, right? That's not what they rely on. We know that. But right now, your Brewers are number one in all of Major League Baseball in run differential, plus 119. There is not one team in the American League, and I think it's fair to say the American League, when you think about some of those teams, you think about power. Not one team in the American League that has a plus 100 or more run differential. The most in the American League is the Yankees at 92. The second most in all of Major League Baseball is the Cubs at 115. We just have 2 teams right now with a run differential of over 100, and it's the Brewers at number 1. And when you look at power numbers and home run numbers, they're not one of the tops. But they're getting it done in other ways. And I love that about this team. Yes, you could question whether they can maintain it. I understand that. I understand that concern. But right now, all we could say about it is they're proving it. They're proving they can maintain that. And we just hope that they can continue to do so. But that 119 run differential right now. Wow. I'll tell you right now, I know Monday is I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. I'll tell you right now what my I'm not saying, but I'm just saying is. I'm not saying that he's going to win it, but I'm just saying Isaac Collins has a major, major, major case to be the National League Rookie of the Year. I was looking at the odds, the updated odds for the National League Rookie of the Year. And right now it looks like Drake Baldwin from the Braves is a minus 250. But you want to know who's next? It's Isaac Collins at a plus 500. This is according to sports.betmgm.com. Isaac Collins plus 500. Right now, Jacob Mizorowski is a plus 1,500. But Collins is not that far back. In fact, Collins has made huge strides throughout this season. Drake Baldwin is probably going to get a little bit more love and attention, and I get it, rightfully so. I mean, all-star, he's hitting 282, he's got 11 home runs. You look at those lines, and those are the sexy numbers, right? Those are the sexy stats or facts about Drake Baldwin. But Isaac Collins, if we did a finalist right now, the 3 finalists for National League Rookie of the Year, Isaac Collins better have his butt in there. His butt better be a part of that discussion. And I am guilty of questioning whether Isaac Collins could continue doing what he has been doing, especially on the offensive side. But you have to acknowledge what he's been doing. And what he's been doing has been pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. More than dang good. It's been awesome. This season, 279. Doesn't have the power, right? It's got 6 home runs, 32 RBIs. But you look at what he has done lately with this Brewers team in his last 101 at-bats. All he's been doing is hitting 307. Narrow it down to his last 27 ABs, 370. Isaac Collins. Think about this phrase that I'm about to say, and then just kind of go back. What if we said this in like April? But Isaac Collins is one of the biggest reasons why this Brewers team is in first place in all of Major League Baseball. If we said that in April, we'd be like, what are you doing? Like, maybe give me some of what you're having. Because, what? And he is just gotten better and better. You break down the offensive numbers by month for Isaac Collins. April, he hit 219. May, he hit 210. But since June and onward, June, he finished with 288. July, he finished the whole month of July, 321. And we just got a couple games in of August for Isaac Collins right now. So he's at 400 in August in 2 games. But where would this Brewers team be without the play of Isaac Collins? He has made some great defensive plays in left field. He has made some huge clutch hits from the plate on the offensive side. Isaac Collins is a big, big reason for why this Brewers team is currently in first place in all of Major League Baseball. And it's time. It is absolutely time that we start to hit the table, pound the table. Say this dude deserves more talk about a Rookie of the Year candidacy. I don't think he right now, if they did the vote, he wouldn't win. I don't think he would. I don't think he has the name recognition of a Drake Baldwin or even a Jacob Mizorowski. Let's just call it what it is. He doesn't. But if he continues and has another spectacular August, there is no reason whatsoever he shouldn't at least be a finalist. And you think about that. If the Brewers have a Rookie of the Year finalist in left field, and this is a guy too. Remember, he can play the infield. You get a little versatility with him. But if he finished this thing strong, this season strong, you're looking at that outfield and you're like, okay, maybe your starters are Isaac Collins, Jackson Chourio, and Sal Frelick. Never would have thought that back in April. All right, I want to talk a little bit more about Logan Henderson, but we got to take a quick break. Brewers fans, I want to hear from you this morning, though, all right? Come on now, a fantastic weekend for the Brewers. I get it. It was the Nationals, okay? Nationals suck. They stink. But you at least have to be, there was this talk a few weeks ago. I was like, maybe the Brewers play down in the competition. They didn't do that against the Nationals. They did exactly what a first-place team should be doing against a team like the Nationals, and that's butt whoop them. I mean, they gave them a butt whooping. Logan Henderson getting called up yesterday for the Crew with Jacob Misiorowski landing on the injured list. And Logan Henderson, what did he do? He went 4 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts in 5 games at the major league level this year. Logan Henderson's 3-0 with a 1.78 ERA. 3-0 with a 1.78 ERA and 5 games started for the Brew Crew this year. Now, I know when he was sent down, there was a lot of questions about, like, why? Why was he sent down? He's one of our better pitchers and such. And, we highlighted such. It's like, maybe they want him to work on developing a couple more pitches and such to add a little bit more to his arsenal if he's going to be a long-term effective starter for the Brewers. But I think, and I know it's a little bit of a projection here, but there's going to be a lot of talk this offseason about starting pitchers for the Brewers, who's going to be back. There's going to be a lot of chitter-chat if Freddie Peralta is going to be traded this offseason with entering his final year of that deal. There's going to be that talk. Whether you like it or not, there will be that talk. Brandon Woodruff entering free agency. And right now, he's earning some coin. Okay, with the way he's pitching, he is absolutely earning some coin. Jose Quintana, who knows? Might just be a one-year thing for Jose Quintana. So you're talking about potentially 3 openings in that starting rotation next year for the Brewers. And for a lot of teams, that'd be a tough pill to swallow. It'd be a really tough pill to swallow. But for another, I'm not saying for sure Peralta and Woodruff are going to be gone after this year. But I'm just saying if they are, Brewers are still in good shape. Yes, it would be a huge loss. I don't want to diminish the loss that it would be with Peralta and Woodruff gone after this year. I don't know what Woodruff's plans are. He's on the back end of his career. Would he look to cash in? Maybe in one of his final deals and such? Or would he want to stay with the Brewers and kind of, like, hey, you guys stuck with me, I want to stick with you? I don't know. We got plenty of time to hit that up. But if it were to be that the Brewers might have to find 3 pitchers, if we assume Misiorowski and Quinn Priest are the other 2 that are going to stay in that rotation, still feel like the Brewers are in good shape. They're in good hands. One of them being Logan Henderson. Because Logan Henderson will be elevated to a starter next year. So you got him filling in one of those spots. Possibly even Chad Patrick. There's another one. I don't know the future of Tobias Myers. But we know he has pitched in some big games, and we have seen some really good performances from Tobias Myers. Mostly from last year. He's going to be a part of that. And Robert Gasser is going to be a part of that. This should give you, if you're a Brewers fan, and you're maybe a little bit worried about Freddie being traded next year, or Brandon Woodruff getting a big deal elsewhere. Yes, they would be big losses. But you look at the depth that this Brewers team has in that starting pitching rotation. It's pretty darn good. It's pretty good. So, kind of take comfort in that. Take a little bit of comfort in knowing that, yeah, they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. But we got a long time yet before we're talking about that, right? A long time talking about that. Let's talk about let's keep it on. Let's keep our focus on what we're currently seeing from this Brewers team.